Hello again, everybody. Rick Eastman here with another edition of Callaway Cable Network News, and we have our Refuel 16 outage kickoff speaker, Mr. Jeff Odie Espenship, with us. Odie, you did a tremendous job today at both of your presentations. Just a very motivational speech, and you related what you have learned, certainly as being a fighter pilot, to what we at Callaway plant do each and every day. Yeah. What are some of the key takeaways from your messages regarding communication, leadership, culture, those things?
The first thing I like to start out on is about reflecting inward on yourself, on your own work behaviors. And then once you do that, you're able to critique yourself and look at yourself. I say the road to perfection requires inward reflection. And then from that, I talk about setting expectations and monitoring performance. And I mean setting the bar high, first of all, pursuing perfection, achieving excellence, and then after that, it's about monitoring performance, because we are human. Humans make mistakes, but in my world as a fighter pilot and in your world, you can't afford to make mistakes. So if you see something, say something. Coach, mentor, train. So those are very important takeaways. And then secondly, I talk about what influences our behaviors when we're out there getting the job done every day. I talk about our experience level, our skill level. That has a tremendous influence over our behaviors. I talk about our attitude, the way we feel about our job, the way we feel about this person we're working with. Our attitudes change daily. I talk about pressures to perform, pressures to get the job done that we put on ourselves and we put on those around us, because I mean, we are all very competitive, want to get it done kind of people. We're very confident in what we do. And then lastly, I talk about job culture. For us, it's called cockpit culture. But out in your world, it's job culture, because if the job culture says one thing, but your rules, policies, and procedures, your written instructions say something else, that you're trying to get it done, let me tell you, that job culture is going to have the most influence over your work behaviors. And I shared with you about a good friend of mine losing his life because of one switch. One switch being out of place is sort of like plant status control for you guys, just making sure everything is in the right place all the time, every time.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what makes your messages so powerful, is that you have these personal, real-life experiences that are very emotional for you, certainly for the audience, and for you to be able to stand up and tell others your stories and the loss of life you've seen from friends and family members. It certainly makes for a powerful message. How are you able to do that? When did you first form this talk and be able to draw on these experiences and speak publicly about them without them just ripping your heart out?
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course I lost my brother in an airplane accident, and that was huge for me, and we all have gone through significant life events. But about 7 years ago, I just felt there's a message out there. I can get bitter or I can get better over his loss. But over his loss, I had to reflect inward on my behavior, first of all, and share with the folks that, hey, something that I may have done, a shortcut that I may have taken, possibly influenced his behavior down the road. And that's my own burden that I bear. But I share that because, you know, when we're out there working every day, what we're doing, we don't know how that's influencing somebody that's next to us, you know, tomorrow, 6 months from now. But if you're teaching them how to break the rules and still live, you may have to live with that down the road. So I just internalized my brother's loss, and I just wanted to share that with folks. And it's very difficult for me. When I first started doing this, I would really kind of break down and start crying. But I told myself, you can't do that. You got to get the message out there to them. So it's been difficult, but it's been very rewarding for me as well.
Yeah, you leave the breakdown and crying to the audience members, I guess. But Jeff, talk about Target Leadership. That's the name of your company now, and you speak to not just the nuclear power industry, but companies all over probably the U.S. and the world, right, with this message?
Yes. Well, Target Leadership, I named it that because I feel that we are all leaders. Leaders simply influence behavior. So we're targeting ourselves. A lot of people out there will target, oh, it's the plant manager, that the chief of nuclear operations. He or she is the one that I need to have to keep me safe or do it right or set the procedure. No, it's you're the leader, because leaders influence behaviors, and you want to influence them in the right direction every single time. So yeah, I speak to anybody who works in what I call high risk and dangerous work environments, because I look at all of you as fighter pilots. I mean, you're the ones out there working hard every single day, tip of the spear, salt of the earth, getting the job done, and you're the ones that have the most to lose when something goes wrong. So you're the ones that have to step up and do it right every single time.
So last question. You travel other countries too, I trust.
Mostly in the United States, but I have been to Canada and Mexico.
Okay. Yeah. So how many days